In this third video, I will work on the entry point to the application, which is the index.php file located inside the public folder here. All request URL will go through this file. It is just the front door to the application. This concept was really difficult for me to comprehend because I was used to mapping my URLs to the files in the root directory or some subdirectories in my application. Since frameworks don't go for this bad practice, I have to find a way to demystify it. Now, the URLs that I use to map to my individual files will be directed to only one file called index.php. Okay. If a link like categories, contact, products, and so on are clicked, a request is being sent to the application direct to the index.php file, right? To demonstrate this, I will write something in this index file, and let me comment this one out. Then echo query string here. We'll say echo requested URL, then get the global server, variable, that is the query string. So now let's go to the browser. So put in a query here and say products, for example. See, I can get products from the index.php, from the URL. Then I can echo it in the index file. Okay, it is so when the query string is there, anything that comes after it is the request, and this will be used to decide where to forward the request. That is, which controller or an action to route it to. So now, with this query string, it's not useful here because we are not getting a beautiful URL. So a file called htaccess will be used to remove this query string. But before I do that, let me take away this query string. You see, now my application is telling me this request URL was not found. Let me create the htaccess file in the public folder, because this is now representing our root folder where the request we hit. Then I create a file here, the htaccess. Great. So I have made sure that that I have a mode rewrite enabled on my system. That is why I will be able to use this HD access. Rewrite engine, how to turn it on, then the rewrite condition. So I have to tell the system okay, so here I'm saying not to rewrite any file. So say request name, request file name, then I will do the same thing for the directories. Put D here, then I'll now go for the rewrite rule. Rewrite rule will be so $, come here, then the index.php, because this is where everything will be directed to. I would like to assign a variable to the strings that come after this query. Then I will give it a variable like URL, let's say URL strings, strings. So these informations, they are all available on the Apache website. That is where I got them. So now if I go back to the browser, what am I getting? See I'm getting the string now from the URL in my index file. So with this I can extend it. Let me say product list, for example, list, then I will get product list. Anything I put, let me continue. If I put something like param 1, so I get param 1. So with this technique, I can now in my system split all the strings in different, or put them in array, and from there I can now spread them to where I want them to be, push them to each controllers and use them there. Yeah, I think I will get my head around that first and continue in the next video. Thanks. Stay tuned and subscribe.